Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, we do the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Coming up, we get to the ladies and what's going on. We have blood and guts. Blood and guts tonight. Who emerged victorious? Team AEW or Team Elite? We'll talk about it coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. If we get the model up, there you go. Will be Team AEW or Team Elite? We'll see coming up. Also, too, a lot of stuff going on, even debuts as well. The debut of Camille, a long time NWA Women's Champion, made her appearance. You won't believe what she did and it's aligned herself with Sasha Banks, aka better known as Mercedes Moné. We get the Pro Wrestling Show started. The AEW Dynamite Ring Report starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dixon. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Let's get to it right here on the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. We kick things off with a bang. You know that 4th of July was a couple of weeks ago. Well, MJF emerged victorious, and now he proclaimed himself as the international champion. But he renamed and rechristened the championship as the American Championship. There's a lot of corners getting cut a lot. And MJF, one of them, don't even know what he wants to do. MJF came out there with a butt loaded of women, cheerleaders and stuff, trying to rally around him. MJF holding the American Championship. Let's get a look at that championship one more time. It kind of reminds you of the United States Championship. I mean, okay, you want to call it the American Championship, be my guest. I would have liked it better if they would have done different, like the Homeland Championship or something. But they want to be different, so have some take to it, like a United States Championship take to it. Well, MJF won the championship a week ago from that highly contested match that many people are praising that could be match of the year or AEW match of the year. But Will Ospreay saying that he wants his championship back and he'll do anything to get it. And he wants to do it at Wembley for the championship. Ospreay will do anything, but MJF still budging and does not want to defend that championship. So MJF playing mind games with Will Ospreay. We'll see if Will Ospreay gets his championship back one way or another. It's going to be a hard battle for him down the road, but we'll see. Speaking of that, Jeff Jarrett, the last outlaw, Double J. Jeff Jarrett came backstage and met with Daniel Bryan and told Daniel Bryan that Daniel Bryan is the perfect candidate to win the Owen Cup because Daniel Bryan represents everything that Owen Hart stood for, and Daniel Bryan did. And Daniel Bryan did precede their excellence. Daniel Bryan will get that World Championship match at Wembley Stadium in the largest crowd once again. So Daniel Bryan could be world champion. And Jeff Jarrett said he has full faith and believes in Daniel Bryan could do it and become the world champion at Wembley. So we could see that. Could that be a possibility? It could be a possibility. We could see that being that way and how the possibility might end. So Daniel Bryan could be leaving Wembley, London, as the AEW World Champion. Could be a possibility. Speaking of that, we got another what is this? Okay. We see that Chris Jericho has a problem. Jericho went against I forgot that man's name. Jericho went against him. A lot of people are saying Jericho, he retained his championship against that man. I forgot that man's name. But Jericho raising up his FTW championship, the Learning Tree. Chris Jericho's been out of shape a couple of months. Jericho scratch and claw his way to retain his championship. One thing about Jericho, Jericho's a crafty individual. He knows how to keep his championship alive and well. That's one thing about Jericho. Jericho, don't let Jericho fool you. That's what Jericho does. You know how Jericho is. So hey, you can see that being that way. Jericho. Also, too, for Jericho, um, Camille made her appearance tonight. Camille, the longtime NWA Women's Champion, made her appearance. Camille was a free agent, and Camille has signed with AEW, and she done so by associating herself with Mercedes Moné, better known as Sasha Banks. Camille is now the bodyguard doing the heavy duty work on Dr. Britt Baker, and just did some like female version with torture rack and kept racking Dr. Britt Baker, like breaking her back. And it looked like Sasha Banks went and found her a Mercedes Monet went and found her a bodyguard, whatever you want to call it. She went and found her that. What that Mercedes Monet gonna do? She's gonna spend her money. The CEO has had money well spent on Camille. Camille now working with Sasha Banks, aligned herself with Sasha Banks as her bodyguard, as a protector. The protector. We don't know if she's going to accept the challenge all in against Dr. Britt Baker. Dr. Britt Baker got decimated tonight and destroyed tonight by the hands of Camille. And it looked like Camille ain't hit a play. Camille just breaking down doors and barriers and did what she had to do. We're speaking of more that of the women. Mariah May, who did that heinous job to Tony Storm and now turned her back. Tony Storm returned, and Tony Storm was wanting some piece of Mariah May and did so and tried to go after Mariah May. And the security guards had to separate these women, Tony Storm and Mariah May, at each other's throat. But they will fight each other at London for the women's championship. We'll see that match for the world women's title, women's world title at All In. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be an all-in celebration between these two women battling out in London. You can tell that right now. But Tony Storm want to get her hands on Mariah May, one way or another. We're gonna see that match and how that match is gonna play out eventually. And that's one thing about Tony Storm. Tony Storm want to get her hands on Mariah May. Tony Storm could be getting her hands on Mariah May sooner rather than later. So you could probably see that being that way, and how that's gonna impact the match. So hey, we'll see. Well, we get to this in this encounter. Um, we see that encounter from what's his name? Forgot his name. Nick Wayne calling out somebody. I forgot his name, but he said his dad died, and saying Nick Wayne didn't care. Nick Wayne dad died a couple of years ago. Nick Wayne looking at Christian as his dad. Nick Wayne adopted that. Kip Sabian. I meant to say Kip Sabian. And Nick Wayne, I don't know what's going on. I guess Christian hold all the gold now, has the trios gold in his resume. Christian kills Wilson. I really don't know what to say about this one. This just doesn't make no sense whatsoever. But hey, it works out for many people who believes in this. But hey, we'll see how this is gonna play out eventually. But we told you about Tony Storm when he got hands on Mariah May, so that could be a telling right there. Well, we see Pat, the bastard, Pat, wanting to get his hands on somebody. Pat won his match tonight. Pat could be joining this match right here. We know that there will be a Royal Rampage, and I don't even want to call this a Royal Rumble, but a Royal Rampage, a Battle Royal. The winner gets a future AEW Championship match at Grand Slam. You could see that, and we'll see who's going to emerge themselves victorious in the Royal Rampage, like a Battle Royal. It's kind of crazy. A battle royal to determine who gets a championship match at Grand Slam. We'll see. Well, that's gonna eventually. Well, we get to blood and guts. We know the participants right here. Team AEW, the Acclaim, Max Castle, Anthony Bowens, with Ring of Honor champion, Mark Briscoe, and Darby Allin, and AEW champion, captained by AEW champion Swerve Strickland, will take on the Team Elite, captained by Heyman and Page. And Page only wants to get his hands on Swerve. This match right here was a version of elements of War Games. You probably see War Games coming up down the road for Survivor Series, but this was AEW's version of War Games. You see Darby Allin looks on. As Darby Allin was the star of the show, the MVP of the night. Darby Allin took it to the extreme and took it to many levels that many people didn't expect to go there. Darby Allin at the end of the match, Darby Allin wanted to almost set a man on fire. Darby Allin wanted to set Jack Perry on fire. He handcuffed every member of the Elite, and then he got his hands on Jack Perry and told Jack Perry to give up, to surrender, or get burned. And Jack Perry didn't care. So Jack Perry wanted to take it. He wanted to get burnt. Well, it took only Nick Jackson of the you know who to do what he needed to do, and had to stop this match, and told Darby that Darby will get a TNT championship match at All In if he just stopped this nonsense, this chaos. Darby wasn't having none of it. Darby decided that he was gonna burn Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and I mean burn him. Well, Nick Jackson had a conscience, and the conscience came through and told. He said, "You know what? We quit. We quit." And that was it. The match was over with. It was the every elements of War Games, and I mean War Games indeed. AEW's version of War Games. Team Elite won. Darby Allin gets his shot at the TNT Championship. This is going to be super dangerous and super destructive. This match was dangerous and destructive. Weapons, doing devastating holds. Anthony Bowens, trying to take out somebody's tongue out, man, trying to rip away their tongue. It was so dangerous, and I'm so glad it was over with. It was so barbaric and brutal that you knew someone was going to leave out lesser of a man than he once was. So thank God for that. How that's going to go. Well, we're going to do it right here for the Pro Wrestling Show. That's the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Like we said, Team AEW won the match. Also, to Camille returns. She debuts on AEW, helping Mercedes Moné to beat up Dr. Britt Baker. Dr. Britt Baker gonna have to find a way to do something. And two, we get to Toni Storm. Toni Storm returns looking for retribution as well. Toni Storm want to get her hands on you know who. She wants to do so one way or another. So we'll leave you with this. We'll be back this Friday for the SmackDown Ring Report. And what a SmackDown it was. But AEW Blood and Guts, it was kind of good. I mean, it was kind of death defying at the end. When Darby Allin wanted to go rogue and try to burn somebody for his own sick and type pleasure. We'll see how that's going to go. Thank you for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you next time here on the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.